Dr. Shaun is the queen of Facebook. So love you, Dr. Shaun, just to give a few tips for your team. And we'll probably have a couple questions at the end. So take it away. Okay. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. And I just have to say, you guys have an outstanding leader in Marie. She's like a fly on the wall in my group, and she's one of the most positive contributors in there. And I'm very thankful for her. She is an amazing leader, an amazing, she's very coachable. So thank you for that, Marie. And thank you for your kind words. It's Bug. So I'll start with my story, and that is I did not find out about LifeVantage from a distributor. The person that told me about it was just a customer, and that was my doctor. I'd gone to see her because of oxidative stress, right? The most common reason people go to see their doctor is because they're tired, and I was tired. I was, just nodding off on the couch while my husband's telling me about his day, and then I finally go to bed, and then I'm awake at 2 or 3 in the morning thinking about what I needed to do the next day, and what if this happened? What if that happened? I had my mom had health challenges. My grandfather had health challenges. We were dealing with a business that was hemorrhaging cash, actually 2 separate businesses that were hemorrhaging cash. And it was just a very worrisome time. So my adrenals were shot and just couldn't make cortisol. I didn't had my salivary cortisol tested, and it's supposed to be highest in the morning and gradually go down, but still within the range of normal during the day. Well, mine was on the bottom of the graph, like this far from the minimum, which was the maximum was up here, and then the top of the graph. Mine was down here at the beginning, and it gradually creeped up to about 30% below the minimum. So they didn't work at all. And when my doctor was like, you can keep doing what you're doing, but you're gonna die. And I was like, okay, I'll pay attention. So she put me on, a wonderful, anti-aging regimen, adrenal support, and thyroid hormones, and testosterone, vitamin D3, magnesium, all the stuff I was deficient in. And now I'm just as late getting up in the morning. Oh, by the way, he had to come into the bedroom with a cup of coffee in the morning to get me out of bed. So now I'm just as groggy, just as unrested, just as late because I didn't want to get out of bed. And I had snoozed too many times. But now I've got to swallow 28 different pills and open 28 bottles and close them up. And it was just awful. I was like, ugh. But I did it. I kept doing it for 6 months. And then I went to see my doctor for the 6-month follow-up. And she said, how are you doing? I said, I hate taking that many pills. And that's when she told me that there was one thing that was clinically proven to reduce oxidative stress by an average of 40% in 30 days in everyone who takes it. And I'm like, well, you have me a hello. I want that forever. And she's like, well, I don't sell it. I'm like, I'm buying every other pill that I take from you, except for the hormones that I have to get from the pharmacy. She's like, well, I don't sell it. I'm like, why not? And I'm like, she goes, well, it's network marketing, and I'm not sure how that would work with my practice. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. I went to proteinum.com. That was the thing back then. And I ordered it. But that evening, my 140,000 foot health and wellness facility, that was one of the 2 businesses that was hemorrhaging cash, had a board meeting, and I was on the board. And so I went to the meeting and told the manager of that facility, that thing you were telling me about. He's like, Proteinum, because he had tried to tell me about it before, and I'm literally going, la, 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 la. I don't want to hear about that. Why? I already take 100 million supplements. I'm already taking all the best stuff. I don't want to hear about your miracle pill. He goes, but it's all natural. I don't want to hear about it. So I went back to the meeting or to the board meeting that night, and it was just coincidental. And he said, hey, and I said, that thing you told me about? He goes, Proteinum? I said, yes. He goes, what about it? And I go, I became a distributor because I got the big box. I got the big box because it was $16.99 to ship 13 bottles of Proteinum and 1 bottle of True Science, but it was $6.99 to ship 1 bottle. And I knew I was going to take it. I was going to make my husband take it for 6 months. So I went 6 times $6.99 or $16.99. I said, I'm going to save money on shipping. I didn't, wasn't even free shipping. So I got the big box, which made me a distributor, got the website. And he said, my manager said, well, who'd you sign up under? I said, well, I put my doctor's name down, but she's not a distributor. He goes, well, put my name down. So I wrote the company and said, put me under him. Well, it turns out that the person who told 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 him was the same landscape paver that sold the landscaping stones for my doctor's office. So I ended up in the right organization. How crazy is that? But I guess it's because it's, not very populated state, and it was pretty early back in 2012, so odds were pretty good, but still could have ended up anywhere. So it was fortunate because one of those people in the middle of that person told the person who told the person sent me Dr. Dan Royal's video with Donny Osmond, who's Donny Osmond's doctor, and also told me about Dr. Norman, who's in our business. So I really got some hand feeding as far as medical doctors being in this company. And I didn't go to the first Elite Academy that happened in February because I didn't know about it, because no one was really leading me other than everyone, telling me about this doctor. So I didn't know there was an Elite Academy. I didn't go, but in April I did go, and I got to meet Dr. Mark Borden. So I really felt kind of comfortable being a doctor in the company, but completely ignorant about how to work the business. I knew everyone needed to know about it. I knew I wanted to tell everyone about it. I knew that I could make radiologist income in this company by sharing this if I did it right, if I got enough people to see the vision. And I also knew that people were saying, well, just, show the clip and zip the lip. So show the ABC News and don't, think, well, so I spammed everyone. I just sent everybody the ABC News report, like probably 500 people. How many people answered me back, do you think? None. So finally, I was consistent. I believed in the company. I believed in the model. And I believed that I would be successful. But after 3.5, 4 years of not really having much success, I realized, I didn't enjoy that. I didn't enjoy hearing people say no or accuse me of being a spammer or whatever. So I'm like, maybe I had to learn some skills. Well, thank goodness, right around that time, Tara Wilson and Rachel Jackson came into the company, and they started doing things very differently than everyone else in the company. Because, everybody else in the company were like traditional network marketers. Marcel and Tyler Daniels and Carrie Dickey, they'd done network marketing before. So they were doing things the way they'd always done things, except now with LifeVantage and starting with the ABC News report. And I just couldn't figure it out with that. But when I saw people posting curiosity posts on Facebook, I was like, why can't I do that? I should be able to do that. So I took a course, and I took another course, and I took another course. And some of the courses I actually took, some of them I just paid for and didn't take. But I took enough of them where I picked up a couple of life-changing hints. And, one of them was the ad tag and message group. Another one was don't put your website and your product name on your posts or on your about section. Another was don't message people with a link unless they ask for it, unless they're leaning forward. Don't put links on your posts. And I still make mistakes every once in a while, but I'm trying to be more consistent. And if I make a post that's a dud, I'll take it off my timeline or I'll delete it. You just have to be willing to make mistakes, and you have to be willing to learn from people who are having success. And it has to feel good, right? So I was trying to learn from people that were having success doing things the old, you keep your options open for making money kind of way. And it just didn't feel good because I'm like, I'm a radiologist, I'm a neuroradiologist. I'm used to people listening to me. It's just, so I went through years of pain and desire to do better, but not knowing how. And I finally figured out that you just follow somebody that's doing it the way that you think might work for you, that feels congruent with you. And so I started doing that. Hold on. Saying that Karen, Zoom is not working. Do I need to stop for a second?
We can hear you, Dr. Shaun.
Okay, I just saw some people in the chat saying there may be some problems. Okay, good. So having a group, and I know, Marie, that you guys have, you said you have some leaders with different groups, and that's great. And we have, our team has one main hub for customers, the prospective customers and distributors. And that is working really well because the numbers, the numbers in there, it's just more social proof. So I have had some leaders that tried to do smaller groups, they do their own little things, and it just doesn't get much traction because they're the only one in there posting. You have to have I don't know if you've ever seen the video of the lone man dancing. It's a great YouTube video. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out. It's called Lone Man Dancing, and it starts out talking about, how a leader is born, and this man's just dancing in a concert on a grassy hill all by himself with his shirt off, and he looks like a total loony. And he's doing this for probably, 15 minutes, and finally the first follower comes up and joins him and starts, dancing with them. And then a couple of girls run in after about 5 minutes of that, and they're like, they join in the fun. And pretty soon the fifth and the sixth and seventh and the 12th, and then there's like this whole crowd of people dancing on the hill. So I was the lone man dancing for 4 years, and then learned how to leverage social proof. And with my group now, there's, it was a time, and initially just one or two people kind of also commenting and also posting and also answering questions. And now there's, dozens of people in there adding value and, answering other people's questions and putting in their own experiences and their own before and after pictures. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful community. And it just loses some of its effectiveness and fire if you have, several small groups. Plus, I can't go into my teammates if they have their own group. I can't go in there and add my 2 cents because I'm busy supporting the big group. And I've got 2 or 3 or 4 of my people's distributor groups or customer groups. I won't see all the posts, and so can't be as effective as a leader to help. Let's see. That's the main thing. The other thing is, you just want to let people know how they can do it. I really look for people who are answering, saying in a positive way, and then how it could benefit them or how it could benefit their friends. And excuse me a second, I think I inhaled a bug.
Oh no. That's what happens on live.
Yeah. Anyway, anyway, I hope my dog's living out here. I don't think he was. But so yeah, so if somebody's leaning forward and asking questions, I'll go ahead and say, hey, the website's here, but if you're already thinking of other people who could benefit, I say, you're already participating in what we do as distributors, just doing it from the other angle, so, check out the discount packs and you save money and get all the products or some of the products or most of the products. And so some people who didn't even cross their mind to become a distributor, all of a sudden it's just like, well, of course, of course I want to save money on shipping. That was why, I wasn't planning on being an elite distributor when I signed up. I just want to save a few bucks on shipping. So some of these people may not be thinking about distributorship, but I'm like, you know what? I was thinking about Sally and Uncle Joe, and I can invite people to the group. I can tag them in the blah blah blah. And so I like to lay out for people how simple it is, and not easy, but simple. And I also like to ask people questions. One of the things I like to ask is, do you currently take supplements? What do you take? And then I can say, well, what I take is this, and the reason I like this one is because it's, and I tell them why. And I just basically try to keep the conversation going,
Well, you do an awesome job.
Oh, thank you. Does anyone have any particular questions, or Marie, did you want to point me in a direction?
Yes, we do have a couple of questions. The first one that I have is about NRF1, and sometimes people get more tired when they start taking it, but if they switch to the nighttime, they're fine. Can you maybe just share why that happens, and have you helped people like that too?
Yeah, I was one of them. I was spacey when I first started taking it. And, I just liken it to, your body is making more mitochondria. That is an incredibly energy intensive process. You're manufacturing little factories. So that process can be tiring, fatiguing, and brain fogging until you've got all the factories up and running and doing their thing. So, I tell people take it at night. If it makes you tired, take it at night. And then maybe you'll be able to take it in the morning. So, play with it. Definitely. So, and sometimes, people, Dr. Biglione, she actually has people take Nerf 1 first to help them ramp up the machinery that's going to help with detox. So everybody's different, you just play with it. But I always encourage people to keep me posted with any questions or concerns that they have. So that, and I say, make sure you let me know when you start taking it. Let me know when it arrives. And I try to tell them about the detox. And but sometimes you do that and that scares them off. So I just say, it's usually very mild. And you can do things to speed through it or work with it, drinking lots of water, moving more, breaking half, kind of thing.
Cool. Very good. Then, did you have a question on NAD? Because Dr. Shaun, New Zealand's getting NAD.
Yes.
That's exciting.
It is exciting. And I love all the products and take most of them and use most of them. Except NAD, Dr. Shaun, I've tried 4 times to take it, and 4 times I'm very sad. Fortunately, I read this, what is going on, and I record everything. So all I had done was started taking NAD. So I cut it down to 1 tablet a day. Try that. And then so therefore for me, because of what happened, I'm like, about mad until I know more about it. I have recently started 1 tablet at night. I go to bed and it's working.
You're coming in.
So my question is, have you heard of people that are finding if they take it through the day, along with feeling extremely tired, one can feel a bit sad, which is out of character? Is that a side effect with the body rejigging itself?
Yeah, it's just one of those things that, people respond to that differently because, it's a mighty pathway that's being activated. You're increasing your NAD plus and your sirtuin proteins. And, I'd say it's a fair amount of people that are actually, a little bit, have some kind of discomfort, maybe even nausea, maybe even brain fog. Again, I also had brain fog when I started. No, I didn't. I'm sorry. That wasn't our point. No, I didn't have brain. I actually felt super alert when I took it. I can't believe I did that. I had a brain fart right there. I mean, actually. But my husband, he only wants to take 1, and it's because he says it makes him nauseous. So if you're okay taking 1 at night, stick with that, and then you'll maybe find that after everything's fully humming, you'll be able to tolerate 2. Now, Dr. Lee Seward, he's a veterinarian. He only takes 1. A couple other people. So it's not uncommon at all, but fortunately, most people love it and feel amazing when they take it. I wish everybody was, the same, but.
Well, it's interesting because my husband is a big, probably 115, 120 kilo fellow, big solid man, and only 1 does the trick for him, but he can take it in the morning. But I wondered, is it because it amplifies NRF1 and NRF2 that, that, say, for a person with my makeup, that it amplifies it too much, and so therefore, my body struggled. But it was just interesting to ask the question and to know if other people had experienced feeling a bit off in their thinking, in their happiness and that.
Yeah, and it could be because it's amplifying, like you said, that nerve 1 and that nerve 2. So you're increasing your detox, you're increasing that mitochondrial biogenesis. So all of those things could be at play. And unfortunately, we just haven't studied it, with regards to that, and at all yet. And certainly, it's not been out that long. So, yeah, that's a hard one. But just play with it, and I want everyone in my family to be on 2 so that I can get the trisynergizer packs and keep it simple. But he's so far he's refusing. But at least I got him taking 1, so I'm happy.
There's a wee question in the chat from Suzanne. Can you see that there, Dr. Shaun?
Let me look. Chat. I have not had any experience with pyrrophores at all, personally, and I haven't even heard of anybody that has. But my favorite saying is, at some point it won't even matter what the diagnosis is. The thing to do is to get the cells healthy. The brain is, very susceptible to oxidative stress because it's largely fat. Fat goes rancid or oxidizes when exposed to the air. So, or oxygen that we breathe, or, so I think, very few exceptions would I even give caution to anyone based on a diagnosis. Like, the thing is just listen to your body and activate. Can you take the yes, yeah, you can. It works independently. NADs by itself works great. Of course, when you take them together, there's massive synergy.
Faye asks a question. Asks a question. Dr. Shaun to share her views, if possible, on people undergoing cancer treatment, unsure if this would be allowed, but consult their doctor, right?
Right. I always tell people, I say that is a decision for you, or discussion for you to have with your doctor. I mean, some doctors are going to be like, no, we don't want to do anything that's going to, reduce oxidative stress, because we're trying to kill the cancer with oxidative stress, and you might lower it into the sweet zone where it could multiply. And other doctors are like, yeah, you know what? You need to be as healthy as possible while we're trying to kill the cancer. So, I know there are people that take more when they have cancer, and they love that. But, that's their own personal decision. And, of course, I would never recommend anyone take it without checking with their doctor with that diagnosis. But that's great. Yeah, that's the one diagnosis, undergoing chemo and radiation. Definitely want to check with your doctor, because that's the point of chemo and radiation, is increasing oxidative stress. Even people with autoimmune diseases, they, should check with their doctor, because we're supporting the health of the immune system. Obviously, if you have had an organ transplant and you're taking improving the health of your immune system may not be a good idea. But again, I know people who have had organ transplants take it and love it. I know lots of people who have autoimmune conditions, and they take it and love it. It's treating it. If anything, it's just optimizing the immune system, balancing it out. So they like.
Cool. Lika has a question. Does NAD reduce
Well, it
oxidative
does,
stress?
because it's increasing NRF2 function, right? And yeah, it does.
Fantastic. Does anyone else have any questions? We know Dr. Shaun's very, very busy, so appreciate, Dr. Shaun, your time.
You're welcome.
I just had another one. I listened to one of your videos, and you were talking about one of your gold nuggets was 4 to 6, and it was when it sort of takes people 4 to 6 months for that golden time, I guess, to come. Can you explain that a bit more?
Sure. Well, I tell people give it at least a month for every decade or part decade that you've been oxidizing, because it's not a drug. It just upregulates your own God-given enzymes. And one other thing that we know is that at 120 days, glutathione is upregulated 300%. That's 4 months. So it's like you could drive your car around with the parking brake engaged, and it will still go. It won't handle very well. So if you are trying to decide whether you like the way your car handles, you want to try driving it without the parking brake on, right? Then see how it handles. Give it a go. So I liken those last 2 months of activation with your glutathione upregulated 300% as that test drive with your parking brake disengaged. So it's your body actually detoxify and repair and, fully take out all the trash, because glutathione is involved in phase 1 and phase 2 liver detoxification. So,
Great.
so a lot of the good stuff happens after 5 months.
Yeah, cool.
So just to wrap it up, Dr. Shaun, how are you feeling today, say, opposed to 2 years, 4 years, 6 years ago? Like, so you've been on it this long.
Yeah, well, I'd say I feel a heck of a lot better today than I did 8 years ago, and I'm 8 years older, so that's saying a lot. I feel like I'm 20 something years old. I'm 50. I'll be 54 next month, so I feel great. And each time I've added another product, I've noticed something better. Like the Omega Plus, my hair started growing like a weed. Obviously, I love the True Science. The Nerf one, again, I had a little bit of an adjustment with that, but definitely feel more consistent energy. The NAD, amazing. I just, I don't take naps anymore. I used to take naps when I could, but I don't anymore. So it's really a good thing.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Dr. Shaun. We so appreciate you. Look fabulous. And
oh, thank you. I'm all sweaty and gross, but thank you.
We'll see you in person in October.
I cannot wait.